The movie begins with a series of radio transmissions broadcast from Earth. These transmissions describe significant moments in human history, including Adolf Hitler's speech at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, the detonation of the first atomic bomb, and various television broadcasts. The transmissions then continue to travel further into space. As the cameras zoom from Earth, we hear the transmissions fading. Dr. Ellie Arroway is shown as a young girl. Ellie spends her time with her father, Ted Arroway, who encourages her curiosity about the universe and interest in the sense of wonder about the cosmos and galaxy. The scene then transitions to Ellie as an adult, working at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, where she is actively involved in the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence (SETI) program. She is portrayed as a dedicated scientist who is passionate about her work and determined to find evidence of intelligent life beyond Earth. Ellie Arroway works late at night in the control room of the Arecibo Observatory, listening to signals from outer space. She scans the data, hoping to find signs of intelligent extraterrestrial communication. As she listens carefully, her colleague Kent points out something she missed. He then introduces himself and starts telling her what he heard about her. As they're talking, the other people walk in and introduce themselves. Ellie Arroway meets Palmer in a cafe. Palmer is a writer researching technology's impact on third world cultures. He learns about Ellie's work on the SETI project. He expresses interest in her and invites her to dinner, mentioning his connection to David Drumlin. Ellie hesitates, but eventually agrees as Drumlin's visit looms. At a party, Ellie discusses the value of scientific research with fellow scientists. Palmer interrupts, approving for practical over abstract research. Ellie asks Palmer if he wants to go outside, where she points out the Cassiopeia constellation and discusses her fascination with astronomy. She remembers asking her father about Venus in childhood, which sparks her interest in the cosmos. Ellie and Palmer spend the night together, talking about their pasts. She then rushes to work and leaves. Ellie has a flashback of her childhood when she found her dad on the floor passed out. She rushes to get him his medicine. Her father doesn't survive. In the present, Kent approaches Ellie and greets her. He suggests forming the makeshift SETI program, mentioning a very large array in New Mexico as an ideal location. However, Ellie is puzzled by his proposal. Kent then reveals that Drumlin has terminated their SETI program. Ellie confronts Drumlin about what she heard. Drumlin confirms that he terminated the SETI program and is doing Ellie a favor because she's too promising of a scientist to waste her talents on nonsense. Ellie disagrees, arguing that the search for intelligent life is one of the most important human efforts. She explains how vast the universe is and the potential for discovery. Drumlin dismisses her passion, warning her that pursuing SETI will ruin her career. Ellie strongly responds that it's her life to live. During Ellie's presentation to investors, she pitches her SETI proposal, but it faces skepticism. She passionately defends her idea, comparing it to past groundbreaking scientific advancements. Despite initial rejection, one investor changes their mind and funds her project, securing the necessary resources for her research. After 4 years, they are working at the array in New Mexico. They scan the skies for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, hoping to detect meaningful signals amidst the cosmic noise. Kent informs Ellie that the government wants to end their SETI research, considering it a joke. They have 3 months until they're forced out. Despite the setback, Ellie refuses to give up, expressing her determination to continue the research alone if necessary. On TV, Palmer Joss appears as a guest, introduced as an author and theologian who has gained a reputation as a spiritual counselor, even named God's diplomat by the New York Times. His latest book, Losing Faith, tops the bestseller list. While conducting SETI research at the Very Large Array, Ellie detects an odd signal originating from the star system Vega. She informs her team, and they start analyzing the data, ruling out potential interference and confirming the signal's extraterrestrial origin. As they decode the signal, they realize it consists of prime numbers, indicating intelligent communication. The team is excited about their discovery, considering the possibility of extraterrestrial life and technological civilization. Despite skepticism and concern about going public with their findings, they ultimately decide to notify everyone involved, recognizing the significance of their breakthrough. Analyzing the signal, they uncover a hidden video featuring Adolf Hitler's opening speech at the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin, Germany. Arroway and her team speculate that this transmission would have been strong enough to penetrate Earth's ionosphere, traveling to Vega and then be sent back to Earth. The White House releases a statement confirming America's scientists' reception of a message from deep space. The president highlights the discovery's importance, describing it as a potential groundbreaking insight into the universe. He also states the need for further review by the scientific community while expressing excitement about the implications of the finding. Ellie informs the White House about discovering encrypted text within the signal from Vega. They suggest the need for decryption specialists and propose using the Very Large Array for the command post. Ellie doesn't like the idea of militarizing the project, but it's decided that Dr. Drumlin will coordinate decryption while Ellie directs operations. Ellie receives an email from an anonymous sender, containing a picture of the data obtained from Vega. She asks the sender of their identity. Soon after, she gets a call from the same person who had faxed her the meeting location. Ellie meets with a mysterious figure named Haddon, who reveals that he has been studying her for a long time and considers her a valuable investment. He presents her with detailed information about her life, including her academic achievements and career trajectory. Haddon reveals pages of data containing alignment symbols and registration marks, explaining that they form part of a primer buried within the message from Vega. He suggests that an advanced alien intelligence would function on multiple levels and dimensions, implying that the key to decoding the message lies within itself. Ellie presents that the message contains basic equations forming a scientific vocabulary for physics, geometry, and chemistry. There is a debate about the potential of building the machine, with some fearing it could be a weapon or a doomsday device. Others argue there is no evidence of hostile intentions from the aliens. However, concerns are raised about the mysteriousness of the message's content and the potential risks involved. Palmer acknowledges the religious implications of Ellie's discovery and asserts that their organization will not be satisfied with superficial material. Ellie attends a party where she notices Christians protesting at the door. Inside, she meets Palmer and engages in a conversation about his book. They eventually step outside to continue their discussion. However, their conversation is interrupted when they are called to watch a news report about a discovery. A human figure has been detected in the transmitted data. Palmer tells Ellie that the president announced that they would build a spacecraft designed to take a single human occupant into space to the star Vega. Ellie asks who will go on the mission. Palmer tells her a group of international candidates has been formed, and due to their discovery, Ellie is at the top of the very short list. However, there is also a selection committee consisting of scholars, theologians, scientists, and philosophers, and Ellie is on it. Palmer is trying to convince Ellie not to go on this mission. She explains how much she wanted it, and he appreciates her bravery. We hope Ellie won't be too brave for her own good. A panel questions Ellie during the mission selection process. One person asks what question she would ask if she could meet the Vegans, and she responds with a question about their survival through technology. Following this, Palmer asks if she considers herself a spiritual person, trying to provoke a discussion about her beliefs regarding God. Ellie explains that as a scientist, she relies on empirical evidence and does not believe there is data regarding the existence of God. Drumlin was chosen instead of her. Palmer approaches Ellie, and she questions him about why he asked her if she believed in God during the selection process. He explains that their job was to select someone to represent everyone, and he couldn't vote for someone who didn't believe in God. Palmer expresses his discomfort with the idea of selecting someone who views the majority's belief in God as a form of mass delusion. Ellie defends herself, stating that she told the truth during the selection process while accusing Drumlin of telling Palmer what he wanted to hear. The team is preparing to test the machine. Drumlin is leading the operation, and Ellie is actively involved. As the test progresses, everything is going well, and the experiment succeeds. However, Ellie recognizes someone in the camera footage from the Christian protest. She quickly notifies Drumlin, realizing that the individual is holding a bomb. Before security can intervene, the attacker detonates the bomb, causing a devastating explosion that destroys the machine and kills Drumlin, along with several others. Ellie receives a call from Haddon, who informs her that he lives on the Mir space station. He explains that the low oxygen and zero-gravity environment help to keep his cancer controlled. Haddon then directs Ellie to Hokkaido Island, the system's integration site, revealing a hidden facility built as a backup to the original project. He explains the complex network of international involvement, with the facility controlled by Americans and built by the Japanese, who Haddon Industries now owns. Palmer visits Ellie and expresses his regret and apologizes to Ellie. However, Ellie assures him that she's just glad he came. Palmer reveals he didn't vote for Ellie to go on the mission because he doesn't want to lose her. Ellie enters a pod and is dropped into the machine, experiencing what appears to be a journey through various wormholes. Along the way, she observes a radio array-like structure at Vega, signs of civilization on an alien planet, and a stellar event that fills her with euphoria. Eventually, she finds herself on a beach that reminds her of a childhood drawing she made of Pensacola, Florida. There, she encounters a figure resembling her deceased father, whom she recognizes as an alien. Ellie learns that the alien species that contacted Earth through its radio emissions judged humanity worthy of taking a step into the cosmos. However, she soon loses consciousness and returns to reality. Confused and disoriented, Ellie questions what happened, only to discover that the headset she was wearing during the experience recorded nothing but static. Despite the lack of evidence, Ellie insists that she embarked on the journey, but no one can explain the difference between her experience and the lack of recorded data. In a panel, Ellie is questioned about her experience. She explains that the machine created a wormhole which allowed her to experience 18 hours while only a fraction of a second passed on Earth. However, she faces skepticism from Michael Kitts, who suggests that her experience may have been a delusion or part of an elaborate scam engineered by S.R. Haddon. Despite the lack of physical evidence, Ellie maintains that her experience was real and profound. She offers a vision of the universe that emphasizes how small humanity is, and she wishes for others to share that sense of awe and hope. Ellie reunites with Palmer, and they leave together. As they leave, Palmer is asked about his beliefs, to which he responds that he is only interested in pursuing the truth. In this private conversation, Kitts and Rachel Constantine discuss confidential information regarding Ellie Arroway's recording device. Although Arroway's device only seemed to record static during her journey through the wormhole, it actually recorded approximately 18 hours of it. In the concluding scene, Ellie continues to receive ongoing financial support for the SETI program at the Very Large Array, indicating the persistence of her work and the significance of her discoveries. After 18 months, we see Ellie teaching science to children, symbolizing her dedication to inspiring the next generation of scientists. Finally, she takes a moment to sit and reflect, staring at the never-ending landscape. If you've enjoyed this recap, then subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.